Workplace health and safety policies and procedures. Work Safety and Health, WHS. WHS is concerned with protecting the safety and health and welfare of employees, visitors, and clients. It encompasses the whole person's social, mental, and physical well-being. WHS deals with both safety in the workplace to reduce or minimize injury and disease, and with the health and well-being of employees, visitors, and clients. So the question is, why WHS is important in the workplace? Every year, many educators are injured in early childhood workplaces, and the most of these injuries are musculoskeletal, caused by everyday activities such as moving play equipment, lifting children, and sitting on small chairs. Work health and safety legislation underpins a quality learning environment. The National Quality Frameworks establishes the standards and learning frameworks to provide high-quality inclusive education and care in early and middle childhood settings, which can only occur in a safe and healthy work environment. So the benefits of WHS could include: it improves health and well-being, it causes greater productivity, higher performance, increased job satisfaction, greater work participation, and increased social inclusion, increased individual, team, and organizational resilience, lower absenteeism rates, less workplace injury and workplace compensation claims, faster return to work, and lower worker compensation premiums. Now the question is, who is responsible for the health and safety in the workplace? Actually, employees and employers have responsibilities for ensuring health and safety in the workplace. Employers must protect the health and safety of workers and anyone else affected to workplace activities, such as children, families, educators, contractors. They should identify and control workplace health and safety risks for all people, including staff, children, visitors, clients, and families. They should consult with employees on matters that affect their health and welfare. They should provide adequate training and supervision for all employees to work safely. Everyone working in your education and care setting has a work health and safety responsibility and this includes contractors and agents. So employees must carry out their work in a way that doesn't put their own health and safety at risk or that of others in the workplace. They should identify and report potential hazards in the workplace. They should report all work-related injuries. They should implement services, policies, and procedures. And the most important, they need to participate in workplace consultation about health and safety matters. So I provide to you best practice guideline. A simple 5-part approach will help you to develop and sustain a safe and healthy work environment. First, work health and safety policies and procedures. Second, consultation with employees on health and safety matters. Staff training, hazard identification and workplace assessments, and safety risk management program. So let's explain them all. Policies and procedures. All services should have a policy on work, health and safety, and then matters that affect children's safety. Some other work health and safety matters you could consider are first aid, ladder safety, accident and incident reporting, hazard identification, kitchen safety, and so on. Consultation. Involving employees in health and safety issues can result in a safer workplace. That's why consultation is an important part of risk management. In certain situations, employers must consult about health and safety issues with employees and health and safety representatives, HSRs, if they have them. Staff training. Employees receive ongoing training in the workplace health through their day-to-day learning and activities. Although WHS should be a part of your overall early childhood or OSHC service training program. An effective training program should include ongoing training in a safe system of work and emergency procedures. WHS training includes on-the-job training facilitated by co-workers, supervisors, employers, and management. Instructions on WHS responsibilities and daily practices. Specific hazard training. Work procedure and skill training such as manual handling practices. Emergency procedure training such as evacuation drills, first aid drill training, and WHS representative training. Most early childhood education and care services are regulated to ensure children are protected from harm and that their opportunities for learning and development are maximized. So what is hazard? Hazard is a source of potential harm or situation that leads or causes to harm people or property. Hazards in the workplace can include physical, such as falling objects or slippery surfaces, chemical, such as acids or poisons, biological, such as sick people or children attending to the class, mechanical, kitchen appliances, or psychological, such as bullying and workplace stresses. So the question here is, how can you identify workplace hazards? There are probably many things that you are already doing that will help you to identify some major hazards in your workplace. A few examples could be daily safety checks of your indoor and outdoor environment and your equipment. Common patterns that emerge from your accident, incident, and illness forms to identify a common risk indicator for developing a plan of action to minimize that occurrences. Knowledge of illnesses and infections in your local area. Regular safety audits tailored to your service. Your hazard reporting procedures for educators and families. Your food safety plan and your infection control policies and procedures. So let's see how is the process of risk management. First, find the hazard in your workplace. Second, assess the risk associated with those hazards. You don't have to do a formal risk assessment if there is already information about that risk and how to control that. Third, control the risk, and fourth, monitor and review that risk controls and revise the control if they're not working. Control or manage the risk. Decide how you will manage or control the risk in your workplace. Work health and safety literature identifies a hierarchy of controls that range from hazard elimination to hazard management by using personal protective equipment or PPE. First, eliminate. Remove the hazards altogether. Substitute or modify. Replace the hazard with something less dangerous. Isolate. remove the hazard from the contact of people. Engineering controls, redesign the equipment, use gauze or other equipment. Administrative control, policies and procedures including training and supervision. Personal protective equipment or PPE, place a barrier between the person and the hazard. Monitoring review. Risk must be systematically monitored and management strategies reviewed to ensure that they continue to be effective and contribute to a safe and healthy work environment. Documentation. To help you monitor the effectiveness of your risk management strategies and control, you will need to keep some systematic records. These records will help you to assess how successful you have been in controlling your work health and safety risks. Many of those records may also be licensing or regulatory requirement in your jurisdiction. So first, workplace safety audits, accident, incident, and injury reports, worksheet checklists used to identify hazards, risk assessment control, maintenance records for building and equipment, electrical tagging details, fire equipment audits, evacuation drills, professional development undertaken by staff, and immunization status. So here we have a question. What is personal protective equipment or PPE? Personal protective equipment or PPE is clothing and equipment worn by employees, visitors, and clients or students to protect or shield their bodies from the workplace hazards. Responsibilities for equipment. Management must ensure that the needs for PPE are assessed by a person who is competent to judge whether other methods of risk control can offer better protection of safety and health than the provision of PPE. Professional advice is obtained where necessary to identify the most suitable types of PPE for the task. Training is provided to supervisors and employees to enable them to ensure the proper selection, fit, use, cleaning, and maintenance of PPE. Supervision and enforcement of the PPE policy. Evaluation of the effectiveness of PPE programs carried out in a regular basis. Suitable PPE is provided for visitors who may be exposed to hazards in the workplace. And all equipment complies with current relevant Australian standards and should be stamped or labeled with an AS compliance marking. To sum up, health and safety at work is everyone's responsibility. Employers have responsibilities towards you. You have responsibilities towards your employers and co-workers. Your employer is responsible for making sure that the workplace is safe and that your health and safety aren't put at risk. You are responsible for looking after your own health and safety, and you must also take care not to put other people at risk.